India routing table. Okay, so now it is showing. So you also check.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it is done, right? So now what I will
Yes.
do is, now I want to save the configuration. The command is write. So I will give write command in India router. Similarly, I'll give command on US router write. So it gets saved, right? So now I have all the routes to reach all the networks. So what I'll do is I'll just ping from here, ping. So first packet will be request timeout because it it save the ARP mapping, right? See, so the two packets are request timeout for the first time because it save for ARP mapping. I have explained you in IP flow, right?
Yeah.
See, if I ping second time, then all the replies are coming. See here, okay? So only for the first time, whenever you set up the network, the new network, the first or second packet will be request timeout because it is used for ARP mapping. All right,
Yeah.
all right, okay. So this is all about your basic practical. The first, the another monitoring command is show running config. We have seen the two monitoring command, show IP route and show IP interface brief. Another monitoring command is show running config. It is the command through which you can see what you have configured in the router. See, like let's say you have configured the host name as India, right? And press enter. See here, to gigabit port you have given this IP address. To gigabit one you have given this IP address. So this command is very useful while troubleshooting. IP route is this. So show running config mostly used in to troubleshoot the router. Okay. So this is also the another command show running config. Through this you can see what you have configured. And this is your step number 7 monitoring command. Step 7. All right. So in this way you can
All
copy and
good.
paste. So all okay. So this is all about your first practical. So we have completed this configure and verify IPv4 addressing and subnetting, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now I will cover the about topic, which is a small topic. So these topics are remaining now. So I will cover all this topic now, and this all are the very small topics. Okay. So now let's start
Okay.
with this topic. So let's understand we have completed the router, we have completed the L2 and L3 switches. Now let's say what is endpoint and server, and what is controller, what is access point, what is next generation firewall, and what is IPS, right? So let's start.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's understand what is server. Okay. So basically, server is a role which we are giving to our computer or which we are giving to the our device, right? Basically, server
Yeah.
is a device which is having a good hardware like good RAM, good hard disk, good processing power. In server, we have multiple types of processor. Like we have two boards. In one server, we have two processors. Like, let's say in our laptop is an endpoint device, right?
Yeah.
Our laptop is a normal device. So the normal device is called endpoint device. Okay, so in our laptop, we have only one hard disk, we have only one processor, we have only one RAM or two RAM, right?
Yeah.
But it in server, it is different. In server, there are two processor, two RAM slot, and multiple hard disks are there, and server controls the system. So let's see. So see, in our company network, we have a server which control all the endpoint devices, right? These are the endpoint devices. So in our company, when we go for the working, so company have created the username and password for us, right?
Yeah.
So we can go to any desktop and we can go to website and we type that okay, my name is Dennis and password is this. Okay, so you can take login into the server. So server controls the endpoint. Okay,
Yeah.
server controls the endpoint. See here. So there are multiple types of server: the web server, database server, email server. Right. The database server is that server which can stores the data of the company. Okay. The web server is the server. The email server is that server through which emails are sent and received. Right. POP, IMAP. Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, here's the point. So basically, server is a role. You can apply that role to your computer also, but your computer is not having that much of resource. Your computer is not having that good amount of RAM. Your computer is not having the good amount of processor. Your computer is not able to handle multiple queries, right? Because server is handling multiple queries. So basically, server is a role that computer takes. So you can give this role to anyone. You can give this role to your computer, you can give this role to your desktop, or you can give this role to a particular server hardware. So most probably, mostly, we are giving this role to the server hardware, right? We keep a separate machine for the server in a server room, right? And
Yeah.
that machine hardware is very good enough. So server is a role that computer takes. See, let's say if your computer is if you are making your computer as a web browser server, okay, if you are making your computer as a web browser server, so what happens, it all the anyone want to go to internet or anyone want to access the website of the company, so this endpoint or this client will send request to your laptop, right?
Yeah.
So your laptop can handle four queries, so that is good. But what if number of user increases? Let's say in your company, your laptop, which is an ordinary laptop, okay, your company make that laptop as a server because server is a role, right? You can give that role to anyone. So let's say your company give that role to your laptop, that your laptop will work as a server. So your laptop can handle the queries of four computer or 10 computer. But what if number of computer increases? Right? Because in our company, we don't have four user or five user, right? We have multiple users, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what if the number of computer increases? So if the number of computer increases, your desktop or your laptop will get crashed. Why? Because your desktop hardware is not capable to handle that much of queries, right?
Yeah.
So that is why for server we buy another separate machine which is very good in hardware. The motherboard is of different quality, the processor is of different quality, the RAM is of different quality, the hard disk is of different quality, and we have multiple types of multiple CPU slots are there in our server. See here. So mostly in our CPU we use desktop, right? We use Intel Core i7, Core i5 and all. In server, we use Intel Xeon processor. So it is more stronger than our Core i7 processor, right?
Yeah.
See the normal motherboard and the server motherboard. In normal motherboard, it get clear. Wait for it is blurry. See, in normal motherboard, we have only one CPU slot, right?
Yeah.
Support only single processor. But in our server processor, we have two processors. See, there are two soup engines are there. Okay, so that is why the server is able to handle multiple queries as compared to the normal desktop, which is an endpoint, right? Our computer is working as an endpoint because in company they keep a server in a server storeroom, which is having this type of motherboard and hardware, right?
Yeah.
Not only this, our server is using an AMD processor. Okay, in desktop we use Intel Core i7 processor. So Intel Core CPU do not support ECC RAM because in our server we use ECC RAM. Okay, so ECC RAM is another kind of RAM. Okay, is another kind of RAM which which is used in server. Okay, ECC RAM is very good in C. Xeon processor support ECC RAM error correcting code. So it has an capability to correct an error. All right. ECC RAM is mainly used in server. Detect if the data was correctly processed or not. All right.
Yeah.
So in server, different kind of RAM is used as compared to the client, which is an endpoint. Okay. And this type of CPU. See, in server, in our normal endpoint or in our normal client machine, we have only one hard disk, right?
Yeah.
But in server, we have multiple hard disks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, what happened in server? We use RAID configuration. Now, what is this RAID configuration? RAID configuration, with the help of RAID configuration, we save the data in multiple hard disks. Got it? For backup.
Yeah. Yeah.
For backup. So, if one hard disk gets failed, so we can replace that hard disk and we can add a new hard disk. Now what happened in the end point? If our hard disk get fail, our data get lost, right? We lost our data. But it is not happening in server. In server, what happened? In server is having a multiple hard disk and data is stored as a copy in multiple hard disk, right? In multiple hard disk with the help of RAID configuration.
Great. Okay.
Not only this, in server we have a power supply which is redundant. Okay, let's say in our desktop we have only one power supply. In our laptop we have only one battery, right? But in
Mm.
server machine we have a redundant power supply. If one gets failed, then another power supply will take the load. All right. And in server we have separate operating system for the server. We have Linux server, we have Windows server, we have Mac OS server because for server to handle such queries, to handle the client or to handle the endpoint, there is a separate operating system for the server. Okay,
Yeah.
for server there is a separate operating system. The same operating system which we are using Mac or Windows, which is a client, which is an endpoint, is not working as a server. To make the machine as a server, we have to install the server operating system, right?
Yeah.
Server need to use a sub operating system, server operating system. Server operating system are robust and they are stable as compared to endpoint operating system, right, which is client, are able to handle thousands of concurrent connections. All right.